Good morning. Happy Friday. I wanted to take a little moment of your Friday morning to just share this really precious story. It's been a while since I've shared a Jagger story. So if y'all are wanting to hear something about Jagger that has a deeper message, and it happened around, man, he was still a puppy. He was about a year old, and so here's what happened. I woke up this morning and I was chatting with God about the day and about what, just reminding myself and talking to him about the day ahead. Cause I know, as it says in Deuteronomy, that God has gone before us and then he comes back and wants to walk through the day with us. And so I believe that. I put my faith in action and I wake up in the morning and I have a jam session with Jesus before I even get out of bed, and just talking to him about the day and how I should order my day and what I should wear. No joke. I'm not kidding. Should I get up and work out? Do I fit that in? And then I was reminded of the wonderful busyness of the day. And then I can't quite remember why this story. No, okay, yeah, I can't remember why the Jagger story popped into my mind, but I know to just follow the stream of thought. If I'm hanging with Jesus, I'm going to believe that everything I'm thinking about is purposeful, and so I just kept following that line of thinking. And then I remembered the story that I want to share with you, this Jagger story. It has some high points and some low points. And then, anyway, so then I just laid there and I just remembered the story. And then it connected to some of the coaching sessions I've been having lately. And I'm like, God, you are so amazing. Having the mind of Christ, just being able to be connected with God so intimately before I even put my foot on the floor to start this Friday morning is such a remarkable delight. It's so supernatural. And so I'll tell you the story in a moment. And yeah, it just brought such blessing to me. Um, and so I entered the day. I started my next steps as God and I chatted about what to do next. And then I journaled what I was remembering in regard to Jagger, and just thought, wow, the connection to Jagger's story, to what I've been talking about with my clients, just these precious women, um, is unbelievable in the similarity. And it just felt such compassion and grace and joy and this level of contentment that, like, wow, you really do. When we're connected with you, when we are present in the moment and we're giving our strength of our thoughts and our desires for the day, we're giving it to you, like, you never disappoint. It's so amazing. So, um, yeah, I think I can just jump right into the story now. So, Jagger is a bird dog. He's got these natural instincts. My husband does an amazing job nurturing and training, as he was a young puppy, these natural instincts, because that's his purpose. His purpose is to interact with birds, with Ryan, his owner, his truly his master, and have that connectedness and that relationship. And the more that they're connected and they're relating, and Jagger trusts and continues to interact with Ryan, his master, then Jagger's purpose is like extra fun. And Jagger's a runner. He runs fast. That's the only reason I jog, for my, well, I do love a little bit of being in nature and release and being with Jagger. But he's a runner. He's not walking. He's not strolling around. His nose is always in action. He's always wanting to, to approach the bird and let his owner know, hey, there's a bird right here. And it's really a beautiful sight to see, watching Jagger in his natural element and living out his purpose. It truly is beautiful. It's pretty stunning. And well, I'm not a bird hunter and I'm not Ryan. So for me, it's Jagger and I, and our connectedness is different yet very special. And so Jagger and I will go on these runs. And when he was little, we wouldn't run too far. We would run down this wide stretch of kind of mowed down field, and it would run through our neighborhood and all the connecting neighborhoods. And it was winter, and he was on the leash with me for a while so that we would stay connected, so that he would learn my voice, he would learn the commands. I tried to mimic the commands that Ryan would use in regard to hunting, so that there's that connectedness, that similarity, building trust with me as well. And again, different, but yet still he hears my voice, he knows my voice. And on a leash for a while, then Jagger is learning to stay connected. And yet I still appreciate his natural instincts and his ability to hunt and to, show his mama all the birds in the area. So he and I would just go down the street and we'd find this large stretch, this wide open field, and it would go through our neighborhood and through some connected neighborhoods. And then there was a point in time I could let the leash go and Jagger would just run. And just watching him in his element was so fun. So I would get a little exercise and I'd run through the snow as well, or the open field. And he would just go corner to corner, side to side. And then, but keeping like the tension of his purpose and of his desire but there's a bird, and there's a squirrel too. And yet keeping within the range of being able to hear my voice, to keep him safe, to keep him close. And so little by little, as he would go out of off the leash, I would still give those commands and use my voice, and he would heed to my commands and he would heed to my voice. And it was just this beautiful back and forth relationship. It really is beautiful. And so we'd go through, I would just watch him run around, and then every so often he'd come to my right side and he'd heel and we would walk together. And most importantly, when there were neighborhood roads that would come up every so often, I would pull him back in and have him heel next to me. And then I would walk with him up to the road. And then I, as the one who has reason, his animal instincts only get him so far. It was an ability for us to stay connected so that he would trust, okay, it's my mama. She has, just like Ryan in the field, that's my dad. I'm listening to him and it's fun. And we hunt and we go on these runs. And so I trust and I want to be close. But I don't know why she's holding me here, but I'm trusting. And like, there are times Jagger will shake. His natural instincts. He's like, okay, but can I go now? Because there's a bird across the street. Okay, but can I? But he's holding that tension to be fully him, yet to stay next to me as we're near the grass is ended, the road has begun, and I look both ways, and it's his master, his owner, my reason and my ability to see things that he can't see. But together, it's pretty sweet. So I keep him safe, and I keep him so safe that he can then continue another day in his identity as a bird dog and his purpose to hunt and to fetch these birds. Am I disturbing your peace? Oh, good morning. Do you know we're talking about you? And so we come up to the road. I just take a hot second to do it. And then we walk across the road together. And then he's like shaking. He knows the end of the road is right there. Can I go now? And all I have to say is, okay. And he goes. And when he goes, he just goes full throttle. we can't get up there. I have my stuff up there. So you just have to lay with me. So he then goes into the next stretch of land and he's running and it's just beautiful. So we get to the end, we turn around to come back home so I can continue on with the rest of my day. And yeah, this is where the story takes a dip. So he's running and he sees something ahead. You know, he sees a bird and he's ready to go after it. And he's already ahead of me, just out of reach maybe of my voice, or he can hear me, but the excitement of the bird supersedes being in connection with me. His just natural instincts have taken over, the desires of a bird dog's heart, and he just wants to go after it. So come on, you just want to, okay. So this is just funny. Why didn't we call him Domino? You see these three big circles. Hello, good morning. Good morning. All right, so he has his eye on the bird. He has his eye on this next thing he's going after, the desire of his heart. And I said, Jagger, no, Jagger, come. And I'm giving him commands and I'm speaking with force and I'm speaking with oomph because I know what he's forgotten to remember is that there's the road coming up. And I know that that could be, not always, but sometimes that could be dangerous. But he doesn't want to know about that. He's forgotten about that. And he is going after this bird or whatever it is that the desire of his heart. And he's out of my range, my influence, my connectedness. And he has been led astray by this excitement, by his instincts. Lo and behold, y'all, lo and behold, I have a Jagger trauma story. So I am trying to call after him. To my right, I see this GMC, huge, this white pickup. And now Jagger is like half the size he is now. And you get a pickup, danger, and you got the excitement of the instincts and the desire of a bird dog's heart. And those two met. So he runs across the street. He meets the bumper of the white pickup, and I see my puppy pretty much kiss the bumper of the car. And his body, it's like the bumper scoops him up, and he just becomes a decoration on the grill of the truck, and he falls to the ground. The guy in the car and I meet eye contact. He's saying sorry. He's trying to get out of his truck to check. And I said, and it's not your fault. It's our fault. I'm so sorry. He's apologizing. I'm apologizing. And there's Jagger. And now I'm getting somewhat closer because I have to run to catch up. And by the time I get somewhat close, Jagger pops up and he books it. He just runs. And I have to finish the niceties with the guy and I apologize, but I'm trying to run and Jagger is running. He is running. And as like we could just imagine the adrenaline that's going through him as he just got hit. I don't know if he's broken bones or what. And so I get to the point where all I could see is this little brown ball of fur, like just getting over the hill, and he just keeps going. And I'm like, I am trying to run as fast as I can to keep up with him. He was gone. He was out of sight. I didn't know if he was resting somewhere eventually. Does he know our home? Like, where is he going? He has to go all the way back through this huge, wide area. And it's, quite a distance. And then he has to turn right down the main road and go a couple houses, 10 houses, 5 houses down and get to our house. Like, where is this puppy going? Where were you going? I know the answer. Hi, good morning. So there he is. I finally, catch up to him. I'm running. I'm still yelling after him because I didn't know if he was hiding somewhere because he was just so traumatized or what. But there I do. I see him and he's curled up. You're so come on, lay down. Lay down with me. Lay down with us. You want to be up there, don't you? So then I see him and he's curled up on the porch of our home. Like how he even knew that was the space to go to, how he knew that was our home. So all I do is I just curl up next to him and I sit next to him I sit next to him and can you sit down? I sit next to him and I just console him and I just love him. Good morning, Marcia and Deb and Donna, Sammy. Good morning. And I just lay there next to him, curl up next to him. I comfort him. This isn't the time, but I just want to be like, dog, Jagger, what are you doing? This is why we stay connected. This is why we stay close. This is why you heed my advice. When you hear my voice, you know my voice is a loving voice. It's to keep you safe. Like I want to, lecture. I want to teach. Come on, come sit down. Come on, it's not fun, huh? Are you gonna go in the basket? No. Okay. So I can't leave Jagger out of the story. It's his story. So I'm just like, I want to talk to him about who I am. I want to remind him of my good character. I want to remind him that the reason that I want him to stay close to me is for his own good and that he can see more future days to live out in his great abundant purpose. And I'm just like, but you got to stay with me. I know you're excited. I know you have the desire of your heart. I know that this is such a temptation. I get it. Don't feel bad about it. But man, you go after it and you leave the space in which I can care for you and keep you safe to see another day. Well, I don't say all that to him. I just lay down with him and I console him and I love him. And eventually we get him in the home, we get him comfortable and we get him to a space that he can heal. That was a traumatic event. I mean, it was so traumatic that days, months after, when we go on runs and walks, he would flinch when cars were coming nearby. And so the reason I feel like this story of Jagger, which I giggled because I'm like, man, even the Olette's dog deals with so much. I don't know. Are all of us wayward and just bullheaded and have to stretch and have to see how far we can get away with? I don't know. I don't think so. So anyway, I just was talking to God this morning as he put that message on my heart and reminded me of that story with Jagger. And, it reminded me of what I did want to pop on. It was like 10 o'clock last night. And this week it's Friday. That was Thursday night. And I've had numerous coaching sessions or just conversations with people. And, the reality is, and I'm trying to make the connection super clear so I don't go off too much on a tangent, but my heart, all of these sessions have led the conversation has pretty much gone the same way, that we're so focused on, are we doing the right thing? Are we being good people? Are we doing right? If we're talking about being Christian, if we're talking about being Christ followers, if we're talking about, just being a good person, and maybe you're among many people who I interact with that you haven't, you don't have a faith in a higher power. You don't. And I'm going to come back to that in a moment, but you don't really know what you anchor to or what you stay close with to that is a higher truth than only what you and your humanness and our limited ability to understand. Like maybe you're kind of in flux and you're not sure. And some of my clients are coming to me because they're not sure. They're not sure that they want Jesus to be their master, or that they're not sure that, yeah, I mean, I believe in God, but there's these beautiful conversations I'm having with people who are along the different spectrum of their spirit. Like we have a body, we can all see that. That's good to us because we can touch it. Like, okay, yes, agreed. We all have a body. We can kind of agree that we all have a soul. I think people understand that. Our mind, our will, our emotions. I think we can wrap our mind around that a bit. And then but the spiritual part of us, I just feel like we're not honoring that, or we do recognize that there's a spiritual part of ourselves And, maybe that's not being nurtured as much. Maybe that is gone astray. Maybe because we have such desires of our flesh, of our soul, and there's so much we want to do. Or we're so focused on our purpose, and we're focused on doing things right. And just even maybe just morally being a good person, or just as a Christ follower, like, I don't want to disappoint God. Or I'm in so much darkness and overwhelm that I'm not connected to really anything. I'm really just connected to my mind's pain. And come on, come lay down. You're kind of unsettling. Like, what do you need? You want to lay down next to me? No. You guys just see that. That's what I'm seeing right now. What do you want? Would you like to lay down and relax with me? Come on. So, so I'm on these calls with different clients, and they all vary. Come on, y'all. Come on. They all are varying to the degree of what they're looking for on their spiritual development. That's what he wants. That's the sweet spot right there, under a blanket. But this is comfortable to him. This is the end of what I want to talk about. That ultimately, through everything Jagger's been through, this is comfort. He knows. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting all over the place because Jagger's distracting me. Jagger knows his master. He knows his owners. He, even at about a year old, he knew his home. He knew where he could rush back to. He knew where he needed to go in the most traumatic of experiences in his young little puppy life. He had enough good interactions with this home that it superseded the trauma. And all he could think about was, I just got to get home. I just got to get to that place that I know is safe. Have you ever been there where just everything else around you, and maybe physically traumatic, emotionally traumatic, and yet, man, I just know I need to get home. I need to get where I'm safe, where I'm loved. And then that overrides what the body might be feeling or what the emotions might be feeling. And I just got to get home. And that's what Jagger did. He just ran home. And I met him there. Now, if it was God, he's there. But as a human master, as a human owner, I had to catch up to him. But that makes me think of Jesus. He runs after us. He goes after the one. And we pray for that meeting. And then he just meets us there in the trauma. He meets us there in the pain, in the overwhelm, in the depression. And I'm with my clients this week, and almost every single time I wanted to jump on and record, because I feel God saying to me, Tara, you're in a more quiet season. I'm having you meet more one-on-one with people. But what I'm having you do, Tara, is get to the pulse of humanity. This one person, man or woman that you're speaking to, you're learning the pulse of not just this person, the one, but the general human heart. And there's a lot of good. I'm having a lot of really good conversations with people, but I'm also what I mean is they're in good places. Things are going well for them. They're just wanting to learn more and grow spiritually or whatever. It's not all traumatic, but the human condition is like, where is this home? Where do I belong when nothing around me makes sense? Where is the most loving force that's greater than the natural realm? Where do I ultimately feel that love and that belonging and that safety? Because that's where your spirit, that's where it wants to go. And when it doesn't have that place, or it doesn't believe that place is that, then it doesn't go home. It just wanders, it gets stuck, it's in depression, it gets stuck in the circumstance, in the trauma, laying there in the road. Like, where do I go? I don't know what to do. And some of my sessions with my clients, they know God, but they don't know God. They don't really believe that the character of the one that they've spent their whole life under its guidance in church and in small groups and in serving. I'm finding again and again the human condition is in the doing and in the shame and the guilt of our doing and our not enoughness. So much for richer or for poorer, for better or for worse. It's so caught up. The human condition is so caught up, even in the purpose. I don't feel purposeful, or I have such a purpose and I want to go after that purpose. I have such a desire in my heart and I want to go after that desire, or I'm so not enough. It's all doing. It's all in who I can be for the world and how the world interacts with me. That can be so disorienting. That can whip us around. That's the tail wagging the dog. And I'm like, I just hold these sessions for people. And at the same time, I feel like this is humanity. This is the human heart and the condition. We forget where home is. We forget that there's this secret place while we're traveling here on earth that we can go inward and we can hear and heed the advice of the wise one and of God and of Jesus and of the Holy Spirit. And I love, for those of you who haven't yet decided that home is heaven, that you started in heaven, that you'll go back to heaven, or that God is like a God for you, that he's your maker, or that, yeah, I believe in that, but I don't know if Jesus is the voice. Is he really the only one? Is he the one? Come on, there's got to be many voices I can listen to. But it's all so disorienting. And unless you feel this awkward sense of peace that even in trauma, you've got a place to go. You've got a place that you can rest and you can heal. And so I'm holding these coaching sessions for people. And I said, you know what? You're not wrong. That behavior isn't good. That mindset is, it's leading you to depression. I get it. Those are inappropriate behaviors. You're right. You're right. You're not wrong. But what I believe that is happening so often, for whatever reason, we're so fixed on our behavior, I mean. And are we good? Are we bad? Are we doing it right? Are we fulfilling a purpose? My desire is this, that, and the other thing. And yet God is just like, I wish you knew that I am for your good, not for your control, and not to limit you and hold you back. But I am your God. I am your maker. I am your Father. Will you just listen to my voice over your desire, over your purpose, over your circumstances, over your emotions, over your mind? Will you just trust me and stay connected with me? And so I'm in these coaching sessions and I'm just like, I just want to draw you back to being connected with truth, with perfect love, even if you feel disoriented. I just want to draw you back. And by the end of the session, God has purposely met in the most, I've got a up front row seat, up front, to witnessing God's perfect love through a personal relationship with Jesus. Like, just let's just stop all the madness for a minute. Let me draw you to the personhood of Jesus, and let Jesus, not me as the coach, not me as the spiritual guide, Jesus. And I zip my mouth and I let the person bring the overwhelm to Jesus, bring the pain, bring the desire, bring my business plan. Yeah, man. I work with all kinds of people going through all kinds of things. And I believe in whom I believe in so much that that person is the one I'm connecting. I want you to be connected with the voice of who made you, who knows you, and who wants to direct you to keep you safe and to keep you on purpose, to love you on purpose so you can move out into your purpose. Not be stuck in depression, not to be stuck in your circumstance, not to be stuck in your title and your millions of dollars of earnings. That's all good, but it's pulling you back in to first love. Let me just remind you and draw you into the voice that if you just trust this, and I can speak it, but instead with these sessions all week, I just drew them back to heed to like their maker. Walk with your maker for a moment, rest with your maker for a moment. And then just what is perfect love saying? And every single time perfect love flips the script. Every single time the voice of God speaks into whatever the overwhelm, the negative emotion, the need, the excitement, and perfect love gives the perfect answer. And the person just melts. The person is just like, yep, this is where I needed to be. This is where I needed to go. This is truth. This is my home. So I close this with what I wanted to say at 10 o'clock last night, and I held back. You comfy now? I just want them to see you and not just me. What I want ultimately to have said this week multiple times and now is the human heart, the human condition wants a home, wants a place that no matter what, and even if I can go somewhere that is dependable, that is loving, that is safe, where I belong. And y'all, that's heaven. And that's heaven now. There's a home, there's a place that you can rush to seek answers to questions you didn't even know you had. And it's all for good. It's all for healing and restoration and to purpose you. But that's the right order. First, just be loved. This to Jagger, this is love. For me, being in my office chair or being here in the morning, but my morning, like, let me make the correlation. Jagger had a lot of really good experiences in this location, in this home. He's had good experiences enough to draw him back here in a traumatic situation. So my morning isn't a religious routine. Heck no. My morning is an interaction with perfect love to recalibrate, to get any hell out of my heart, to get anything that I collected even over the night in a bad dream or an overwhelm that was carried on from yesterday into the day, that I have so many interactions with heaven on earth in my one-on-one time, that when I'm out of that secret place, when I'm out of that one-on-one time, that my family, they know I do this, but it's my quiet one-on-one time that isn't a part of my relationship with them. It's just this constant interaction with perfect love and being in this home while I'm on journey. I'm not home as in heaven, but this is a slice of home. This is a slice of heaven where I have enough interactions every morning so that no matter whatever goes on in the rest of my day and days, as I'm moving out in my purpose, and there might be a traumatic situation that happens while I'm on purpose. But I know then, even if I can't physically come back to a safe home, my safe place in the chair in my office or right here, or sometimes out on the patio in the summer, it's not about a geographic physical location only. That's a great thing to have, that type of home that I know I can rush to. I know that I'm safe and I love and belong. I get that. But how in the middle of getting hit by a truck that I can turn into my heart, into the truth, and I can access that because I've had so many powerful and good interactions with Heavenly Father that I know that that's the place I got to go to. It's not my husband. He doesn't have the answers. He's great. He's comfortable. But that's not going to answer exactly what's needed. And with my clients, many of them are in a spot where they don't feel comfortable necessarily to go to somebody else because the things that what they're thinking of and what the trauma or what the overwhelm, they dare not tell it to their loved one. And if I'm working with a guy, he doesn't want to show and appear weak to his wife. He doesn't want to appear weak to his to the people who look up to him and continuously go to him. He wants to keep up that appearance of strength, and I've got it all figured out. And everybody in between. And I'm this, and even as a coach, I might be a safe place for people, but again, I don't want them drawing to me. I want them to be drawn to the God that I'm drawn to the maker, the creator that has the answer for them. And so we want to be drawn to that space, no matter what, and even if. So I just wanted to take a moment to share that that message, and then that just got coupled with this story with Jagger. And if he would have stayed with me all the while he's on purpose, hunting after those birds, searching after those birds, but if he would have stayed in connection with me, he would have never gotten hit by that car. And that's what I'm trying to articulate. I think it got a little skewed somewhere in my message. But the message is still real and powerful. I'm drawing you to choose to get reconnected to God who loves you, to his voice. He doesn't want to control you. He doesn't want to brainwash you. He doesn't want to keep you on a leash. It's this space, this connection. It doesn't have to be like this all the time. It's like, let's be like this. Put me on your calendar so we can be close and connected in this intimacy. Got to have this regularly so that when you do go out, which is what I want you to do, that you dare not. You fear the Lord so much. You fear your master so much. You have such a reverence. You dare not go too far out while you're on purpose, while you're in action, while you're doing what you're doing for the day or for your life's purpose. Keep in this connection because there's always this one source, not me as the coach, not Ryan as a husband, not my boss as my person who gives me my check and promotes me, not my best friend group who keeps me like connected and safe and I feel like I belong. No, God. Staying connected just enough in that space because God knows you, He made you, and He can keep you both on purpose, but also safe. And no matter what, not even a safety meaning you'll never be hurt kind of safety. No, safety that as you're being human and you're doing life with other complex humans, we hurt each other, we interact with each other. It's going to happen. But you have a place to always come back to. You have a place to always come back to. But you're not going to trust that space if you haven't had an intimate, ongoing, regular time. You're not going to pull into that space. It's not God who's wrong because we humanize God. It's not God who's left you. It's not God who's wrong and not enough. It's us and our distortion and our excitement to get moving and get going. All right. So I love you. I just wanted Jagger and I, like it or not, Jagger, I keep telling your stories because they make so much sense to our human condition. Makes so much sense to the conversations I'm having with beautiful, wonderful human beings. All right, I'm going to let you go. Nice to see you all. Thanks for saying hello. Thanks for checking in. I will talk with you later. Whenever my heart says, let's do a little pop-up, I'm going to pop in, say hi. Because I love you, but God loved you first. That's why I love you so much. Talk to you later. Bye.